Beneath the surface of cold, rugged seas, lobsters are carefully harvested by experienced fishermen, but their journey doesn't end there. From the moment they're brought ashore, these ocean treasures are rushed to modern processing plants where advanced technology ensures every lobster is cleaned, packed, and preserved at peak freshness, delivering the true taste of the sea to tables around the world. Freshly hauled from the sea, these lobsters glisten with vibrant color and energy, a true symbol of ocean freshness. Just one look at these lively, just-caught batches is enough to make your mouth water. But few people know how these prized lobsters are carefully bred and preserved to sustain future generations. Behind every fresh catch is a quiet effort to protect their species through controlled breeding, hatchery programs, and sustainable practices that ensure the ocean's bounty lasts for years to come. The baby lobsters are raised in tightly monitored systems, where every stage of their growth is carefully tracked. From water temperature to feeding schedules, nothing is left to chance, ensuring they grow strong and healthy before being released into the ocean or sent to farms. To ensure only the best brood stock are selected, lobster breeding programs often involve careful experimentation and testing. Scientists examine the health, growth rate, and overall quality of each lobster, selecting only the strongest individuals for reproduction. After growing strong in designated marine zones, lobsters are released into carefully selected ocean areas to mature naturally in the wild. Once they reach optimal size, they are sustainably caught and brought back to shore, marking the beginning of their journey from sea to processing line. Still lively and resting in specialized crates, the lobsters are swiftly transported to modern facilities under strict temperature control, preserving their freshness and minimizing stress throughout the journey. Upon arrival, they undergo initial preparation before entering the meat extraction phase. With the help of skilled technicians and advanced equipment, the meat is gently removed from the shell, ensuring both efficiency and product integrity. Immediately afterward, the lobster meat is flash frozen to seal in its natural taste, tenderness, and nutritional value. This rapid freezing method maintains peak quality, preparing the final product for global distribution or high-end culinary use. The frozen lobster meat is neatly packed into sealed containers, preserving freshness and flavor. Each box is labeled and prepared for cold storage and shipment. A selected portion of the lobsters is brought to the cooking line, where they're boiled to the perfect temperature. After cooling, the shells are removed with care to preserve the meat's shape. Each portion is then vacuum sealed in hygienic packaging, ensuring long-lasting freshness and ready-to-use convenience. Once vacuum-sealed, the lobster packages are neatly arranged into boxes and labeled for distribution. These boxes are then stacked in cold storage, kept at optimal temperatures to ensure the product stays fresh until it's ready to be shipped. Lobsters can be transformed into countless delicious dishes in factories and kitchens around the world. But nothing quite compares to the taste of lobster cooked right on a white sandy beach, with the sound of waves gently crashing nearby.
Tuna is not just an ordinary fish. It is considered the blue gold of the ocean, a magnificent gift from nature. Beyond its high nutritional value, tuna is also a premium ingredient in the culinary world. To achieve the perfect fillet, each fish must go through a rigorous catching process and a meticulously controlled processing stage, all to bring you the freshest flavors straight from the depths of the ocean. Each year, the Western and Central Pacific Ocean contributes 60 to 70% of the world's tuna supply, making it one of the most important fishing grounds in the world. Massive tuna schools migrate along ocean currents, creating ideal conditions for fishermen. Among various fishing methods, pole and line fishing is the most preferred due to its efficiency and sustainability. This method requires skill and seamless coordination among the crew, as each tuna is individually hooked and hauled onto the deck by hand, ensuring better quality control and preventing overfishing. As soon as the tuna reaches the deck, they are immediately placed into ice-filled storage compartments at low temperatures to preserve their freshness throughout the journey back to shore. When the vessel arrives at the port, tons of giant tuna are lifted out of the storage hold using powerful cranes, with each massive fish suspended in the air before being carefully placed onto refrigerated trucks, ready for transportation. At the processing plant, tuna undergoes a strict process to ensure the highest quality. First, the fish is sorted by size to facilitate handling. Then, it is washed thoroughly to remove impurities and gutted to maintain freshness. Once the preliminary processing is complete, the tuna enters the cutting stage, starting with cutting the whole fish into large sections. After being divided into suitable portions, the fish goes through 2 stages of skin and bone removal to ensure no remaining impurities, guaranteeing the highest product quality. Finally, the filleted tuna enters the packaging stage, undergoing 2 rounds of careful inspection and packaging to ensure food safety and hygiene. The tuna processing begins with removing the head. A skilled worker uses a sharp knife to make a precise cut just behind the gills, cleanly separating the head from the body. Next, the fish is gutted, with all internal organs carefully removed to ensure no impurities remain that could affect the meat's quality. After gutting, the knife is positioned along the edge of the skin, and with a smooth, controlled motion, the blade glides between the skin and the underlying flesh. With precise handling, the entire skin is neatly peeled away without damaging the fillet. Once skinned, the fish is thoroughly washed and is then ready to be cut into smaller portions or processed further as required. Did you know that scallops are one of the few mollusks that can swim? Not only are they unique in their ability to flap their shells to move, but they also captivate diners with their sweet, slightly fatty flavor and soft texture. From the deep ocean to the fine dining table, they have always maintained their position as an attractive culinary masterpiece. Amidst the relentless waves, scallop fishing is a challenging yet rewarding journey. Unlike other seafood that rests on the seafloor, scallops can swim by flapping their shells, making them elusive prey. Fishermen often use bottom trawls to harvest them, depending on the sea area and conservation methods. Each scallop brought up from the ocean floor is not only the result of hard work, but also a quintessential gift from the sea. When brought ashore, the scallops covered with moss are quickly cleaned by fishermen, removing the outer layer of algae to reveal the hard shell inside. This process also ensures quality during transportation and processing. Once cleaned, the fresh scallops are quickly transported to the processing plant. Here, they are carefully classified before going through the stages of preliminary processing, shelling, and preservation according to strict procedures. To open the scallop's shell, the worker uses a specialized knife to separate the two shell pieces, making sure not to damage the meat inside. In the scallop meat separation section, they carefully cut away the muscle tendons to remove the scallop meat from the shell, avoiding tearing or affecting the texture of the scallop meat. Remove inedible parts by cutting off the intestines, digestive sac, clam eyes, and mantle, keeping only the white, sweet, and highly nutritious clam meat. Once the scallops are cleaned inside, they are rinsed to remove any remaining impurities, then blanched to preserve the flavor before packaging. After boiling, the scallops are dried to retain their texture and flavor. They are then flash frozen at -30 degrees Celsius to -40 degrees Celsius and stored at -18 degrees Celsius or below to preserve freshness. The packaging will be fed into the machine, divided according to the predetermined weight, ensuring each package has uniform weight before sealing and shipping. Every step, from preparation, cleaning, boiling, drying, to freezing and packaging, is carefully done to bring great cuisine. Now, enjoy each piece of soft and sweet scallop. Thank you for watching the video. See you again. On the misty morning sea, small boats slowly cut through the waves, heading towards the brackish water where hairy crabs live. These small, hairy crabs are not easy to catch. They hide deep in the mud, only appearing when the tide rises and falls at the right time. For fishermen in the coastal area, catching hairy crabs is an arduous journey between the tide, the wind and the waves, and perseverance. It is not just a job, but a life closely linked to the sea and the hopeful crab seasons. Before setting out on a journey to sea, the fisherman meticulously prepares everything as if he is about to enter a mysterious land where strange things await, all ready for the encounter with the cunning, hairy crabs that lurk in the mud of the seabed. On the boat, when the waves are gentle and the sea is still misty, the fishermen take the opportunity to prepare the bait. Each piece of squid, each slice of fish is skillfully cut, carefully tied into each trap cage. Once the baits were securely tied, the fishermen did not hesitate any longer. They quickly lowered each cage into the sea, their movements practiced as if they had done it 1,000 times before. When the time is ripe, the fisherman begins to pull the cage up with strong, decisive jerks. Each heavy cage is lifted out of the water. Inside are wriggling, hairy crabs, their shiny brown shells covered with shiny, fine hairs. Let's look back at that moment again. Look at those calloused hands moving quickly, pulling each rope, lifting each cage heavy with crabs. Familiar hands quickly lifted each crab up, observing the shell, firmness, hairiness, and vitality. The big, strong, hairy crabs, full of smooth hair and firm claws, were carefully kept. Each crate was weighed, the numbers dancing on the scale as if measuring the joy after a day of drifting on the waves. Everyone was excited, their eyes following each kilo of crab. It was not only the result of labor, but also a worthy reward for patience and experience. After weighing, the crates of fresh, hairy crabs are quickly loaded onto trucks and taken to a warehouse near the port. Here, the crabs are temporarily stored in cool conditions to maintain their freshness, waiting for a large truck to take them to the processing plant. The beginning of the next journey of the hairy crabs, from the homeland sea to the dining tables of diners near and far. When crates of hairy crabs arrive at the factory, the first step is done immediately. Rubber bands secure the crab's claws. The large, strong, and vibrant claws, if not handled carefully, can cause the crabs to defend themselves against each other or make further processing difficult. Skilled workers work quickly and decisively. Each crab is secured, and its claws are tied in seconds. The next step is to boil the crabs, an important step to preserve the fresh flavor and make them easier to peel in the following steps. The large steaming pots are filled with steam. The water is boiling, and baskets of hairy crabs are dropped in with a lively sizzling sound. The crab gradually turns an eye-catching bright red color, and the salty aroma spreads, as if the ocean is gradually crystallizing in every fiber of the meat. Here, each crab is carefully inspected by workers. Then the shell is split open to take the meat inside. This work requires dexterity and meticulousness, because although the meat of hairy crabs is sweet and fatty, it is not easy to get it intact if you are not used to it. The nimble hands skillfully operate, splitting the shell, removing the claws, scooping each strand of white meat out of the hard shell, then classifying it according to the body meat, claw meat, or crab roe.